The crisp East Anglian air whipped Boudica's fiery hair as she surveyed her lands. Once, emerald fields and grazing sheep had painted a picture of peace. Now, Roman surveyors stalked the land, their instruments glinting in the morning sun. Boudica, queen of the Iceni tribe, felt a familiar knot of anger tighten in her stomach. For years, the Romans had been a looming presence. They'd arrived with promises of civilization, but Boudica saw only greed in their eyes. They'd imposed taxes, stripped the lands of resources, and treated the Iceni with disdain. Her husband, Prasutagus, a proud warrior king, had tried diplomacy. He'd even named the Roman emperor his heir, hoping to secure his people's future. But the Romans saw weakness, not appeasement. Upon Prasutagus's death, they plundered his wealth, flogged Boudica's daughters in public, and declared the Iceni lands forfeit. Shame and fury burned in Boudica's heart. She, a warrior queen, had watched her people humiliated. This wasn't just about land or wealth, it was about the very soul of the Iceni. Boudica wasn't one for moping. She possessed the charisma of a storm, her voice a rallying cry. She channeled her grief into action, igniting the embers of rebellion in the hearts of her people. Word of her plight spread like wildfire through the Celtic tribes, all of whom chafed under Roman rule. The Trinovantes, the Durotriges, the Carataci, they all answered the call, their warriors gathering under the crimson banner of the Iceni. Boudica trained relentlessly. Gone were the ornate jewelry and flowing robes of a queen. She donned leathers and wielded a massive war scythe, its blade glinting with a promise of vengeance. Her daughters, their faces etched with defiance, fought alongside her. The Roman governor, Suetonius Paullinus, underestimated Boudica's ferocity. He was away campaigning in Wales, leaving the fledgling Roman colony of Camulodunum, Colchester, lightly defended. Boudica's army, a tide of Celtic fury, descended upon the town. They were a whirlwind of flashing blades and guttural war cries. The unprepared Roman garrison was no match for their raw power. The town burned, the screams of the Romans echoing in the smoke-filled air. Camulodunum, a symbol of Roman arrogance, lay in ruins. News of the rebellion spread panic through Roman Britannia. Londinium, London, a bustling trading centre, was next. The Britons stormed the city, their rage fueled by years of oppression. The Romans, caught by surprise, were slaughtered in the streets. Londinium, like Camulodunum, became a smouldering pyre, but Boudica's triumph wouldn't last. Suetonius, alerted to the rebellion, marched back with a hardened legion. The decisive battle took place on a windswept plain, the Romans a disciplined wall of steel against the Celtic horde. Boudica, though brave, was no fool. She knew the Romans were better equipped and trained, but she also knew that freedom was worth fighting for, even if it meant dying. The battle was a brutal clash. The Celts fought with the ferocity of cornered wolves, but their undisciplined charges were met with a hail of Roman pila, heavy javelins, and the relentless advance of the legionaries. Boudica, a whirlwind of rage on the battlefield, inspired her warriors to fight to the last breath. But eventually the tide turned. Celtic bodies piled high, their cries swallowed by the clash of steel. Legends differ on Boudica's fate. Some say she died fighting, a warrior queen to the very end. Others claim she took poison, unwilling to face Roman captivity. Regardless, her rebellion shook the foundations of Roman rule in Britain. The Romans retaliated with brutal efficiency, but the memory of Boudica lived on. She became a symbol of resistance, a reminder that even the most powerful empires could crumble in the face of unwavering defiance.